My morning skincare routine as a 32-year-old dermatology PA with hyperpigmentation. Taking the time for a true morning routine always makes me feel best. Not all mornings look like this, but I try as many as possible. On some days, I wake up the baby and get her breakfast and get her day started, get her dressed. And then on other days, my husband does it. So we kind of alternate those days. So today is one of the days where he is getting the baby up, getting her breakfast. So I can take a little bit more time to do my morning routine. You've probably seen this ice roller all over social media. And it's true, it does stay colder longer than any other ice roller I've used. I don't use an ice roller every day, but just when I'm waking up feeling puffy, or I just want that soothing, cooling sensation that it provides. It's not going to lift your skin. It does provide some gentle lymphatic drainage if you're doing it the right way. And it also has a nice cooling sensation to help to depuff if you are like me and you often wake up feeling super puffy. I do this first thing right when I wake up before I do any of my other skincare. And I just keep it in the fridge to keep it cool. I like to have it in the fridge instead of the freezer because I want it to be cool but not freezing cold. I use gentle upward motions just to kind of cool and drain any fluid. It also wakes you right up. My morning routine kind of varies. There are days where it's super simple and there's days like today where it's a little bit more elaborate. I do try to get my treatments in a few times a week at least. At this point with my devices, I'm kind of on a maintenance phase because of using them for so long, so I can get away with skipping a day or two. But today I'm going to show you my routine when I have time to do all the things. The ice roller really helps to soothe and depuff my skin. Living in a super humid environment, I do find that I tend to get swollen and puffy a lot easier. This is a nice little pick-me-up for days my skin is feeling extra sluggish. Next up, I always brush my teeth before washing my face to avoid any irritation around the mouth from leftover toothpaste. If you're someone who tends to get perioral dermatitis or irritation around the mouth, it's best to brush your teeth before you go on with your cleanser. This one is purple to instantly brighten the teeth, and I'll link it below. A good lip balm is key for me before starting my routine because it helps protect the sensitive lip area from any harsher actives that may follow. For my hair, I like to use a lightweight scalp serum in the mornings that won't weigh the hair down. This one is from Maya Chia and it contains antioxidants, anti-androgens, and anti-inflammatory ingredients to help support the hair follicle. I've tried so many things throughout my postpartum hair loss journey, and this is one serum that has stuck around. I'm starting off my skincare routine with my NuFACE. This device helps to temporarily and subtly lift and depuff by stimulating facial muscles, and it increases cellular activity to potentially increase collagen and elastin down the road. Using a thick layer of the gel can really help to prevent any of the tingling sensation you might experience. I use the 5-minute lift technique from the brand because my routine is already too long to do the 15-minute technique. One common mistake I see is people kind of hugging the jawline, but actually the founder Tara has told me in trainings that you actually start just above instead of having half the device underneath the jaw. There are a lot of conflicting opinions about microcurrent out there, but I do like the way it helps my face look a little bit more lifted, so I always try to use it before a big event or before days I'll be filming. Then with the gel still on my face, I do a little bit of facial massage. This just helps to move around some fluid and aid in any depuffing. You also get a little bit of a temporary sculpting effect from this too, and I think overall it's just a really nice way to increase blood flow in the face. I do it right after the NuFACE just because the gel is still on my skin and I get a nice slip underneath my fingertips so I'm not pulling or tugging on the skin. But I do prefer to wash the gel off because I find it stings my skin a bit and I just find it unnecessary to leave on in my skincare routine. So I'm starting off with a 5% benzoyl peroxide cleanser. A cleanser form is one of the only ways I can personally tolerate benzoyl peroxide on my dry, sensitive skin. I allow the cleanser to sit on the skin for a few minutes and then I rinse it off. I find this is a really great way to control occasional breakouts, and I use this throughout my pregnancy to keep pregnancy acne at bay. I don't always use an eye cream to be honest, but I've been really loving this one. I always like to apply eye cream early on in my routine so the formula isn't blocked by any other products on my skin, and it can also act as a little bit of a buffer to the delicate eye area if you'll be using any harsher actives. Eye cream is definitely a nice to have, not a need to have, especially when you're using a lot of other great serums. But if you're someone who needs a little bit of extra hydration around the eye, I do love a dedicated eye serum or eye cream. Next up is vitamin C. There are so many different types of vitamin C's out there. and each one can be better for different skin types. Let me know in the comments if you want a breakdown. I'm using the C+ Correcting by Revision. This is 30% tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate, which is a lipid-soluble form of vitamin C. That means it penetrates the skin because our skin is made up of lipids without the use of a low pH formulation. So if you've ever used an L-ascorbic acid serum and you find that it burns, stings, or causes breakouts, that could be due to the low pH formulation that's needed in order for the L-ascorbic acid to penetrate. Because this one penetrates without it, you can often avoid the breakouts, burning, and stinging that you might get with other vitamin Cs. The next serum I'm going in with today is the Biopel Tensage. This is my growth factor serum, and growth factors help our skin to better repair itself, and they can boost collagen and elastin production. I deal with melasma, so I always try to use something targeted specifically for hyperpigmentation. This is the Major Fade Serum by Pillow Talk Derm, and it has alpha-arbutin, kojic acid, niacinamide, and it's also deeply hydrating. You'll notice I don't have a dedicated hyaluronic acid or hydrating serum, and that's because all of these serums already have those ingredients in them, along with your moisturizer. There's truly no need for a separate hydrating serum in your routine. For moisturizer, I love one that does double duty. In this case, my moisturizer has a complex of 300 peptides. Peptides can help our skin's plumpness, elasticity, and of course, hydration. I like that this is an all-in-one, so I don't even have to think about a separate peptide serum. Most of the products I use, I bring all the way down to the neck and the chest, but I do like to use a dedicated neck cream. Neck creams, again, are a nice to have, not a need to have, but this is one of the few neck creams I really think makes a noticeable difference. This uses peptides and the brand's microbiome technology and an antioxidant system to adjust skin on the neck. They have a regular formulation and an advanced formulation, and of course I use the advanced because I'm dressed extra like that. Once my facial skincare has some time to dry down and I make sure it doesn't feel tacky on my skin, I go in with my sunscreen. You really don't want the face to be too wet with skincare and potentially disrupt the protective barrier that SPF needs to form in order to be fully effective. So to give my face even more time, I will start with my neck and my chest. I like to use a non-tinted formulation to avoid transfer. This one from Covey has been on rotation in my routine since it launched. It's a mineral sunscreen with glycerin and squalane. It's nice and hydrating. Make sure you don't forget your ears, the back of your neck, the backs of your hands. You can obviously see I love this tinted sunscreen. I'm literally on my last drops, but the finish is so nice I had to show you. Now I go in with 2 finger lengths to the face, and I prefer tinted sunscreen to prevent worsening hyperpigmentation. We know that sunscreens in general are great at protecting us from UVA and UVB, but if you're somebody who deals with a light sensitive condition like melasma, post-acne marks, rosacea, you want to make sure you're using something tinted. Tint comes from ingredients called iron oxides, and they have been shown to help protect from visible light. Visible light has been shown to make these conditions worse. So if you're struggling with one of those, make sure you're reaching for a tinted sunscreen. Now it's time for my morning skin-friendly smoothie. I started making the smoothie years ago when I wanted a nice well-rounded snack or an easy breakfast, but I wanted to make sure I wasn't spiking my blood sugar. I was out of almond butter, but I'm going to give you the best hack. All you do is blend a dollop of almond milk with some water and voila! You have almond milk. It's literally that easy. For the smoothie, I add a scoop of my vegan protein powder. You want to avoid whey protein if you're acne prone, as it can actually exacerbate acne. I use this protein powder all throughout pregnancy, and I'm still using it a year and a half later because it tastes so great and it blends easily. Next, I like to add frozen fruit. I try to choose fruits low on the glycemic index scale like strawberries, blackberries, and raspberries because a high glycemic index diet can not only aggravate acne, but it can also accelerate the signs of aging. When our blood sugar is high, those sugar molecules basically attach to our collagen and eat it up. And we already start losing collagen in our 20s, so we don't need any extra help. I add in spinach and avocado for fiber, antioxidants, and healthy fats, and I add in chia seeds because they're loaded with fiber, omega-3s, and more antioxidants. So there you have my complete morning routine for hyperpigmentation as a dermatology PA. I find that when I take the time to do my whole routine, I just feel better and ready for the day ahead. Let me know what routines you'd like to see next, and as always, if you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.